So, first of all, I would like to welcome you, Yash. You look so young and bright, and you're going to enlighten us about consulting. Ladies and gentlemen, Yash is a graduate of IIM Ahmedabad and NIT Bhopal. Am I correct, Yash?
Yeah. Yes, sir. Right.
He has a experience with the semi-government organization that is Indian Oils for 5 years. And right now he is working with the prestigious PwC. I've also shared with you all his LinkedIn profile, and he's a very versatile guy, I would say. And he's a bubbling consultant. He's going to talk about consulting and how all this work. And questions will you guys can question him about certain things about corporate consulting, how all these things are going to work, and the culture that they follow. Especially, you can ask questions about PwC also. We can ask, I hope, Yash, questions about PwC.
Yes, sir. No worries.
No worries. Okay. So now I'll hand over to Yash. Yash, you can start, please.
Yeah. Thank you, sir. First of all, I am deeply humbled to have the opportunity among such distinguished defense veterans at IIM Bangalore. It's both a matter of prestige and privilege to share a few insights about consulting. I understand that knowledge and experience gained through a military career are unparalleled. I look forward to learning from all your experiences as much as I share my own about experience at consulting. Transitioning from a military career to a corporate world could be adventurous. I'm fully aware that I'm in the presence of true leaders and decision makers. Thank you once again. So I'll just share my screen once. Yeah. Is my screen? 1 minute. Is my screen visible?
Yeah, it's visible. Yeah, it's visible.
Okay. All right. Just 1 minute. Cool. So, like for consulting industry, this is our today's agenda. We'll be just covering basics about consulting, covering what it is and how it has evolved and its various types. We'll be exploring real-world consulting experiences across some of its types of different types of consulting and the core revenue drivers and the methodology behind consulting, some industry trends like better skill sets and common challenges, and at last Q&A. We can stop in between if any query or question is there, so no worries. So yeah, so I'll start with the definition of consulting. So as per the Oxford Dictionary, consulting involves providing expert advice or guidance to individuals or organizations to help them solve specific problems or make informed decisions. Essentially, it's all about exploring like different domains and offering specialized knowledge and expertise that client may lack in certain areas. So as for the business advisory, consulting could be divided in 4 brackets, maybe in strategy or management functions or operation processes or maybe technology. In strategy, we do have corporate strategy, merger and acquisitions. So in merger and acquisition, this is the domain in which I am working currently as of now, under strategy consulting, under M&A, merger and acquisition at PwC team. And I work with US clients. So consultants here like provide insights and support during merger and acquisition to help organization navigate complex deals. They could be functional strategy also. So consultants offer strategic advice and guidance on various aspects of a business, from market analysis to growth strategies. Then management functions could be like related to planning or project management from end to end, or maybe organizational restructuring, or maybe staffing, HR related processes, and so on. And then there would be technology consulting, in which consultants in this field work on IT related projects, which could include implementing new systems or improving existing infrastructure. It could be related to ERP implementation also, enterprise resource planning, in which consultants specialize in implementing and managing ERP systems to enhance efficiency and decision making within organization. Then coming to the like overall, I know I'm just covering very basic, but I think it will give us overall holistic idea accordingly. So for the job description of consultants as such, firstly they deal with defining the problem as of now and setting out boundaries. Second step would be collecting and analyzing data, in which consultants thoroughly analyze data relevant to clients' problem on projects and so on. And then there would be, after analyzing data, consultants formulate and present recommendations to address the client's specific business dilemma. Then consultants would work closely with clients to ensure that recommendations align with clients' objectives and expectations. And this may also involve process related to negotiations and maybe reaching to a mutual understanding. In some cases, it could be about implementing the solutions also. So that's what majorly all consulting firms are doing as of now. Like McKinsey have a track by name McKinsey implementation. So McKinsey came in India around 91, and they started implementation practice here in India like relatively new, or 5-7 years back. Bain also have related stream of implementing the processor solutions by name BCN, Bain Capability Network. Then we do have similar practices for other firms also, like EY has a center by name GDS, Global Delivery Service, in which they help in implementing the solution for the client. It's not only just giving the ideas and listing, they will work with the client closely and help in implementing the solution for the next 6 months or so, till the time all savings is being realized, if any M&A proposal is there. Yeah. All right, so this is just a brief overview, history of consulting in last 150 years as of now. And so during the Industrial Revolution, like between 1879 and 1914, so there is a firm by name Arthur D. Little, which is known as ADL also, which is the oldest active consulting firm as of now. And it's very small in terms of capacity, in terms of human resource, and in terms of projects accordingly. And they were focused initially on operational efficiency. Then, accordingly, in due course of years, there was a necessity which has been found that management and ownership function should be separate, and consultants could help the firms accordingly. So there was a firm by name Booz Allen Hamilton, and it emerged and provided guidance in management consulting formally. It was later renamed to Booz, and it was acquired by Peter Lucy, and it was named as Strategy End. So all big four firms which are there, they were formerly accounting firms, but they have either acquired any external consulting firm or in-house developed any practice for their consulting specialization. Then the era of Great Depression came, like around just before Great Depression, 1929. So McKinsey was born, and so initially their specialization was to like provide change management consulting to the firms, and they were dealing with lot many surveys and user interviews accordingly. And accordingly, after a few years, BCG and Bain popped up, which the founder of them were the former employees of McKinsey. Then digital revolution or third industrial revolution came between 80 and 20, 1980 and 2000 onwards. So there's a firm like Big Four we know as of now, but there was one more firm by name Arthur Anderson, which was collectively Arthur Anderson and Big Four was known as Big Five, and they were focusing more towards ERP implementation during this time. They have changed they have extended, diversified their portfolio from not only accounting but also providing consultancy, maybe tech consulting for a matter of fact. Then there was some scandal in which Arthur Anderson was being found and it was demolished. So post that, uh, uh, these firms, IBM, Accenture, and Capgemini, which were already there in the business but in different domain, they started providing IT consulting majorly. And then at the end, this fourth industrial revolution in which we live as of now, like the boom of AI, ML, big data, and so on, came. And during this time, there was also the need for boutique consulting firms or niche consulting firms. It could be related to HR practices, it could be related to pharma life science, it could be related to TMT, technology, media, or telecommunication sector, and so on and so forth. These are the basic types of consulting. Broadly, it could be elaborated in more number of categories. So yeah. So before just I go, like if you have any question, so feel free. No worries.
Hi, Yash. I have a question actually.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. You're
So,
audible.
yeah. So, when we say you said technology consulting, so like what kind of, when we say security in technology, so what is security in technology consulting? Is it only cyber security that we are talking about?
It could be related to cyber security, or maybe digital security, or maybe like in-house they have some practices and so on. So like let's say we are living in today's world like of now, like AI, ML, and so on, and all data which are there online or maybe access through internet for a matter of fact. So just to provide a safeguard or ecosystem that all their resources, all their practices or solutions could be not prone to extrinsic risk. It could be related to different security, like what kind of security we are dealing with, whether it's financial security, whether it's related to their IT security processes, and so on.
Okay, now there is a management function and operational processes. So if we see that some of the subheads of management and operational processes, they are very close to HR, like I would say staffing, then hire to retire. But like staffing is in management function and hire to retire is in operational function. So why is it so that they are in different headings? I mean, one is in management and one is in operational process.
Yes, sir. So there could be case that it's not segregated in different buckets. There could be overlap accordingly. So let's say if function is related to hire to retire. So hire to retire is like till the time of inception of onboarding someone on the team, till the time a person leaves the company, let's say. So it is majorly HR practices, but there could be a certain, this whole process is kind of an operation, which would be dealing with onboarding employee till the time he or she is there with that. So that's why it could be included in operations. Operations is not majorly related to like our in manufacturing or maybe in industry what we are dealing with. So there are firms like Genpact, Accenture, and so on and so forth. They have practice related to operation management, in which they will be dealing with operations of the IT project they are dealing with. So there could be overlap. I just for sake of convenience, I've bucketed as of now.
So you mean to say, like you just mentioned that say we take a case of Accenture. So they say the hire to retire, it comes under the operation. So any HR guy, I mean, since Accenture is a consulting firm, so any HR guy can be part of it who has experience in this field, or is it only related to the IT services, or it can be to any other business or say domain?
Yes, sir. So uh, it is industry agnostic. It's just only the function which we are concerned about as of now. So although Accenture is a tech company and they may be having tech related process and this thing, so even if person is not from that domain as of now, he or she is like they've been expected that he or she could manage the project. So let's say in I have few colleagues which were there like in core industries, not at all related to tech at all, and they are in augmented implement intelligence section at Infosys. Like that guy was in like around 8 or 10 years of experience in hardcore civil engineering company, and he's been posted in that sector. So these firms are not expecting to have like core knowledge of their business. It's more about functional experiences, and during the job, on the job, like it's kind of a I can compare maybe kind of a vocational training that on the job training happen like maybe for 3 months or 6 months, and holistic superficial knowledge of the business gained accordingly during that time. I think you are on mute, sir.
Yeah, I said, okay, yeah, we can go ahead.
Okay, sir. Cool. So this is strategy consulting. Strategy consulting and management consulting are the one which is most often talked about, and these are the big players in strategy consulting. MBB, they are known as McKinsey, BCG, and Bain. There are other good firms by name Kearney, LEK Consulting, and maybe Strategy. So one of the primary function of strategy consultants is to introduce an external or third-party perspective to an organization's business challenges. They act as neutral observers, detached from internal biases, which often helps uncover new opportunities and potential solutions. Strategy consultants are expected to possess considerable industry knowledge and have the capacity to assess high level business issues objectively. And they can evaluate organizations' current practices to determine if they align with the firm's objective and long term vision. They offer strategic recommendations that the company can implement to enhance performance and achieve their desired outcomes. They can encompass a wide range of business challenges, which could be which could include providing budgeting advice to enhance financial control, or maybe developing production strategies to increase efficiency, or maybe managing opportunity for growth and expansion. These are just few examples. And they often work hand in hand with top level executives and stakeholders to guide business towards success. Then we have something related to operations consulting. Uh, Operation consulting generally focuses on enhancing companies' internal operations or maybe external also to optimize its performance within the value chain. And they offer a range of advisory and implementation services. Maybe they aim to streamline internal operations and improve companies' overall performance, ultimately contributing to the success within the value chain. Projects can vary widely from boosting the customer experience, maybe participating in sales and marketing, to enhance the efficiency of logistics within the supply chain. And these consultants may also be involved in redesigning how raw materials are sourced in procurement processes. Operation consultants are at the forefront of improving companies' internal processes and ensuring they align with the broader business strategy. They play a crucial role in optimizing efficiency and performance, which ultimately impacts the bottom line. And these are few players of which have a specialization in operation consulting. Then something about tech consulting, which is being most talked about in today's world. And we have firms like IBM, Accenture, Deloitte, and Capgemini, and Big Four, which have a specialization in this sector or domain. So tech consulting is all about harnessing the power of technology as an enabler to resolve business problems. It can encompass various phases, including design and development, or maybe implementation or management of new technologies. They generally play a crucial role in helping business clients accelerate growth, cut costs, maybe mitigate risk, attract and develop talent, streamline important processes, and so on. They are also instrumental in identifying opportunities where technology can enhance business performance. Some of the common examples of tech consulting may be digitization of key organizational processes, cybersecurity assessment to protect sensitive data, or maybe IT function transformation to optimize tech operations. And these initiatives are pivotal for modern business seeking to stay competitive in today's world. They also act as a strategic partners, guiding organization through the intricate landscape of technology to drive growth, enhance efficiency, and achieve their goals accordingly. Then we have something related to impact consulting, which is in a way related to ESG or maybe CSR for a matter of fact. So recently, this government mandate happened, I think, 1.5 years back, that all firms who earn some certain revenue, they are bound to spend a proportion of their revenue or profit on the ESG mandate also, just the way they do for CSR. So impact consulting can help majorly in that, and they are integral in driving social and environmental change, maybe creating a more sustainable and equitable world. They help organizations and initiatives ensure that their work extends beyond profit and contribute to the betterment of society. And they aim to create social improvement that benefit not only shareholders, but also all individuals directly or indirectly associated with the organization. It goes beyond merely increasing shareholder value. The primary goal of impact consulting is to have long-lasting and sustainable improvement, involve addressing not just immediate challenges, but also systemic issues that can have a positive ripple effect on our communities, environment, and society as a whole. So yeah, work happened both with non-profit or maybe NGOs, social enterprise, and these entities are typically more mission-driven, and impact consulting can help them align their goals with their broader societal and environmental responsibilities. These are some of the key players which provide these kind of niche impact consulting. Then we have financial consulting, which is a little bit different from core financial stream. We have obviously Big Four, which are the auditing firms. They do financial consulting. We do have other firms also, maybe Capco and some other. And so they are pivotal in providing independent or expert opinion on various financial aspects of business. They are integral in ensuring that financial decisions align with organizational strategic goals and adhere to legal and ethical standards. Financial consultants are often called upon to provide impartial expert assessment, to propose business plan and decisions, and their insights could be invaluable at certain times. And it could deal with broad spectrum of financial services, maybe banking, payment, insurance, wealth and asset management, and so on. We can also assist individual or small business in managing and growing their wealth and asset. This may involve offering advice on investment, taxation planning, long-term financial planning to help the clients accordingly. Another key aspect could be like optimizing new business processes and modernizing global technology solutions, which can enhance efficiency and effectiveness across financial operations. They could engage in wide range of projects, such as providing investment advice, helping clients navigate complex taxing regulations, and creating long-term financial plans. Okay. and creating long-term financial plans tailored to individual and business needs accordingly. Then there could be other type which can't be put in any of the buckets. So it could be maybe HR consulting, legal consulting, or maybe any sector specific consulting, maybe like uh, energy consulting, maybe like heavy machinery or automobiles consultants who have expertise in that. HR consulting is one of the most common amongst others. So they address areas such as human capital strategy, or maybe like matters related to compensation and benefit, talent management, learning and development, and HR technology. These HR consulting may be more oftenly used if any merger and acquisition happened, and they have been onboarded uh, to help either the target company or the parental company to help in organizational transformation or for their census data and so on. Legal consultings, legal consultants offer expert and professional legal advice to business and individuals on contractual basis generally. They help in navigating complex legal matters, ensuring clients remain legally compliant and well informed, and so on. Sector specific consulting, it's more of a boutique consulting and so on. So for energy consulting, there are some famous firms like Oliver Wyman and IHS Market and so on, which have expertise in this domain. So, yeah. Before we move forward, any like if any questions are there just about the types of consulting and so on? Are there? So this is a particular case study. So I joined in consulting from very relatively new. This is one of the project in which my team has worked quite a months back. So I'll just give a brief overview. What is the issue? What was the problem? How we as a consultant has helped this firm, and what was the impact accordingly. So we'll get an overall holistic idea accordingly. So our client was a prominent North American auto parts player, and they have found themselves in a challenging situation. They were exposed to a significant trade and supply chain risk. What was the risk? Approximately 70% of their raw material spend was heavily reliant on sources in China. And the over dependence on limited sources has left their supply chain vulnerable because there was escalating trade tensions, particularly in US and China, due to US-China tariffs, and it has significantly eroded the margin in some of the key product categories. And situation was aggravated due to COVID-19 pandemic also. So it was creating heavy losses because all exports, imports were shut off during that time. And so this was the issue majorly with with our client, and they approached to strategy and PwC to help them tackle or streamline their supply chain. So in response to this, the team took a comprehensive approach and they began conducting exhaustive risk assessment across different product categories to understand the vulnerabilities. And we evaluated the top countries to source from, like each product category, seeking alternative as compared to China. And after extensive screening process, considering around 5,000 auto component suppliers in the target countries to identify new potential suppliers. And simultaneously, we also engage with the client's existing supplier to facilitate the building of manufacturing capacity outside of China. And based on findings and insights, a new sourcing strategy was formulated and tailored to different product categories and supplier availability. And considering the impact, the result of strategy consulting was hugely impactful, and the identified opportunities to diversify the supply chain and relocate approximately 25% of the clients' China spend to alternative sources. And this strategic shift greatly improved the client supply chain resilience and reduced exposure to the trade risk. So in this case study, we have mitigated the risk and opened new avenues for the business growth and resilience. Client is better prepared to navigate the complex global trade and ensure the sustainability of this business. And this project happened for around 6 to 9 months till the time onboarding happened and this thing. So yeah, this is kind of a particular problem solving case for which maybe strategy consulting for which client approach to consulting firms. Then there's other case. I'll just cover this briefly. Maybe it's related to management consulting case, and so this client was SME, and it was located again in North America, and they were operating since 2003, and they were more in crude oil production and providing SaaS, software as a service, solutions to oil and gas firms. And there was some regulatory changes as per the policy changes, like all the firms have to comply with the carbon neutral this thing, and they were not meeting the criteria. Like they have the plan to be carbon neutral maybe next 20 years or so. So they have to expedite the process. And before expediting the process, they have to change the perspective and the image of their firm also. So accordingly, PwC has helped in transforming their image and do the branding activities, like what all areas they could focus on, in which they are not exploring much and this thing. Although they were focusing more towards renewable and non-conventional sources of energy also, but help them in some of the acquisition for these energy firms, alternate sources of energy firms, and accordingly, that's how it helped them. So these are particular basic problems or challenges for which firms hire consulting firms for helping them or steer their issues accordingly. So now consider particularly value chain in our consulting industry. Before we go forward, if any questions are there, please feel free.
Rohan again.
Yeah, sir.
Somebody else wants to ask a question?
Yes, sir. Nishant here, sir.
Yeah. Please go ahead, Nishant.
Yash, as you mentioned, I was just wanting to understand from the case studies as well. Operations consulting, is it more like an offshoot of strategy consulting or vice versa? Because like you had mentioned in your first case study, it was more to do with mitigating the supply chain issues of the firm.
Yes, sir. Yes,
so isn't that what was actually covered as part of the operations consulting definition? So how does one really very clearly demarcate between strategy and operations consulting?
So yes, sir. Good question, sir. So operation consulting could be a subset of strategy consulting. We could say so. And so strategy consulting would be something for which ground level work is to be done since the inception. Like it's totally a new problem or a new business or new challenge or issue is there for which a firm need to tackle. But operational consulting would be more of a thing like there is already a system in the place and we need to just streamline it. Let's say any firm is there, they have two IT processes. Maybe for one of the practices, let's say this firm has done an acquisition and the two firms have different IT processes. One of them have maybe Tele software, one of them is working on a AWS, and the other is working on a Google Cloud. So operation consulting would help operation in sync with tech consulting, that how we can streamline the IT operations end to end, and it would be a unified system and so on. So operation consulting would be something that there is already a system in the place but we need to streamline it. But a strategy consulting would be more like you have to do everything from end to end. And so there could be overlap between the two also. I'm not saying it's different bucket, but yeah.
Thank you.
All right. Hello. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. Please go ahead with your question. Pradeep, sir, you want to ask a question? Okay. Okay. Yes, I have a question on now like people like us who are transitioning from say army to corporate sector.
Yes, sir.
So now we have our own experiences, but very different experiences, which corporate sector sometimes they know it, they don't do it, know it. So if I talk about jobs in consulting, so what kind of a jobs are there for us? You yourself has come from a semi-government background. So when I say jobs for people like us, what kind of a jobs in consulting can we look at?
Yes, sir. So there are certain programs basically for veterans and people from different background in consulting firms and in other tech-related firms also. They have specialized positions and uh, openings into leadership positions and maybe at higher level in this thing. And thus how it happened. Like I know a couple of folks which were there, my batchmate. They were there in Indian Navy for 10 years and they have done VRS. So one of them has gone to Morgan Stanley, although it's an investment banking firm. But he has gone to a leadership role there, and which was open only for the veterans and this thing. So in consulting firm also, there are positions and opening which are basically related to veterans or people from defense background, and that's how it happened.
No, so when I say I'm not talking about the veteran thing. Veteran program is one thing that every company has. What I'm
Yes,
talking about is that I have my experience in the army. Say I have experience in I would just an example, physical security, logistics management. I have my experience. Then to some extent, man management. I have my experience.
yes, sir.
Basically we keep on doing our reorg, restructuring and reorg. So I'm talking about that where is the place for people like us in consulting firms. Like yours is one consulting firm there, then there is KPMG is one of Deloitte is there, then BCG is there. So where is the place for us? Like if we take example of your company, so are there any have you met any army officers or naval officers or air force officers who have been doing consulting on something or the other?
Directly as in person, I don't know someone as of now, but I know quite a folk. I think who are in Accenture and Genpact, who are in IT consulting. So I understand like uh, we do have like core background, which not at all related to consulting or the industry and such. But these consulting firms and this thing, they would be function agnostic or domain agnostic. So they don't expect anyone to have maybe this kind of specialized knowledge, maybe related to financial modeling or analysis and so on. So in consulting firm, the roles would be more related to engagement manager or maybe partner in this thing, in which would be having onboarding clients and bring out the deals and this thing. So it would not be more related to core stuff, like we'll be chalking out or doing different kind of modeling or analysis and this thing. It won't be like that, because for that also there is a different team in whole consulting also. So in consulting also, if any one project is there in which we are working, so we'll be having team related to let's say DTDS, which is technology related team. There will be team related to private equity or value creation team. There will be team related to deal strategy team. So thus how they don't expect someone to have like core knowledge accordingly. So if any people who are from the army background or maybe from defense background. Thus how they accordingly position or steer through. I know a folk, I forgot his name, I guess. Nand Das or something was there. He was in ISB. I think he has 23 years of experience in Indian Army, and he switched in, I think, in Genpact. That role is related to consulting and more of a project management. So that's how it happens.
Amshu, I think you have a question.
Yes, sir. Yes, hi. So
Yes, sir.
I have a couple of questions. I'll just go through it and you can choose the order. One thing is I want you to explain the hierarchy in a consulting firm. What is the career ladder like? So that will help us to pitch ourselves in that particular, whichever level, we want to go to. That will give us some clarity. Second thing is, what are the core skill sets you need to have to go to consulting? Like even after your MBA, right? You would have got some skill set which you would have portrayed while you got hired. So what are these core skill sets? Three, when during the selection process, what I know is that they mostly do case study methodology kind of hiring. So what kind of hiring process you underwent and what kind of process we can expect once we want to get into consulting? Fourth is, where do we find the resources?
All right, sir. Thank you, sir, for asking very detailed question and very concise in this question. So this is for your first question regarding, you're able to see my screen?
Yeah, I'm able to see your screen.
So this is related to the hierarchy where we'll be posted. So people who have like maybe 10 years prior experience, they would be posted majorly. So let's say they have different designation or domain name. For MBB, people who have like maybe 10 years plus experience, they would be posted maybe in manager, grade, or principal, or maybe associate principal, and so on. People who have maybe 15 or 20 years of experience, but it should be relevant, if not exactly, but at least in some of the specialization or practice. Let's say we have expertise related to operations domain, and we have done so many practices in that. So it could be related to partner and so on. And people who are in consulting firms generally like stick there for around 20 years or so till the time like 50s or 55 and so on. And that's how it happened. There are other consulting firms like maybe Strategy and PwC, Deloitte, KPMG, and so on. They also follow the similar kind of hierarchy. And so they have this up and out culture. So either you will be promoted or you will go in different firm accordingly. And there would be some case like or it happens on operator basis and everything. There could be someone like one person could be at let's say at senior manager role maybe for giving years, but other person could be promoted at partner much earlier because he or she is getting more opportunities to work with different projects and work with different kinds accordingly. So post MBA, generally folks are like hired at associate consultant level or maybe at senior associate level or associate. I am at senior associate level as of now. And people who are from the defense background, they will generally go in either in principal or manager role. And maybe people who have more number of experience, they could be as a senior manager or partner. They have different terminologies in the firm accordingly. So in McKinsey, managing director would be higher as compared to a partner. And similar is the case with Bain also. In Big Four, in PwC, KPMG, and Deloitte, managing director position is a below partner, and they have a different taxonomy. Partner is at the top of the hierarchy, and that's how it happens. And I think coming to your second question, which you told that what are the core skill sets which would be helping in that. So I would say there are. I know it may sound very generic answer, but other than just these generic skill set, like that's what they try to expect from the people. They don't expect that someone would be having like core knowledge related to finance, that someone is a CFA holder, that okay, you will be giving a domain related to finance consulting. It not happen like this. and someone is doing a courses related to PMP and this thing, or maybe some other courses related to project management, this thing. Obviously, this could uh, help in value addition, but in consulting domain, it's more about like what was our prior experience or past experience, and how good someone is to think his on her feet, and maybe skills related to problem solving or techniques, and maybe like to brainstorm our ideas or thoughts in this thing. They judge all these skills in general through case interviews, and case interviews happen like maybe like it could be 3 or 4 case interviews accordingly. So BCG, I know like BCG do like 5 to 7 interviews, like for certain positions, certain roles. Is there? There are other firms which generally took on an average 3 interviews. Like it happens once, maybe with the engagement manager, second maybe with the partner, and third may also be partner, maybe onshore and so on. So that's how it happened. I don't know whether I give you answer for the core skill set, but they try to see these generic skill sets from a person, and they try to gauge on a candidate through the case interviews. It happened. So here interviews may not be more like it will not be about the behavioral interview or the HR interview. That will be just very small aspect. It will be more about our thinking aspect that okay, like maybe case related to our prior industry, like where we worked, and thus how this is a problem, how we can tackle it. Or maybe something related to guesstimate that, okay, like how many golf ball could be there in a Boeing airplane, and something like that. So they judge these skill sets majorly.
Okay.
Coming to your third question, I think you told that like how we can improve upon these skill sets and how we can where we can use these skill sets. Definitely, that's a good question. So I would say like consulting as such is as a business is more about networking as such, and it happens not like for the inside business also, but for outside business also. So I will give you example. Let's say if generally all deals and everything is there in consulting, partner is the one or an engagement manager or engagement leader who bring all the deals, and they bring through their connects and this thing. And it might be the case that partner has earlier worked with some of the major firm, and he or she has a good rapport with that team and this thing, and they have been given a recurring project to work upon. So thus how it all consulting business as such runs on networking as such. Or I'm saying that okay, major business is there, but a chunk of it, I would say. And thus how it happens in our maybe prior to going to consulting also. There could be some events related to networking in person, in which like maybe consultants from these firms are there, and maybe some conferences maybe there, or maybe certain other avenues in which we could have a connect or build up a rapport with the team, and accordingly, kind of a coffee chat they used to say, or something like that. So these are some of the avenues, and for learning skills, it's good to have a diverse knowledge and this thing. It's good to have certification, like not certification related to LinkedIn, maybe Udemy or edX and this thing. That will help definitely for our knowledge purposes. But if any core certification is there related to our skill set, maybe for data visualization or modeling tools, maybe Tableau, Power BI, or maybe for data analytics tool related to Alteryx, maybe advanced Excel version or something like that, or maybe obviously maybe CSA or PMP, something like that. So these certification would matter or help us much more as compared to the certification what we have from the LinkedIn or edX and this thing, because these certification are equivalent to a level of a chartered account holder, CA, for a matter of fact. It's kind of a degree on this thing. So yeah, these will help definitely.
Thanks so much, Yash. And just one follow-up question. When you do
Sure.
case scenario studies, like when you go for an interview, do they expect you to give you a data, like a answer which is based on some metrics or some data, or just that you can give a generic answer with critical thinking in play?
That's a good question. So that also will depends like which kind of firm you are being interviewed to. Generally, all consulting firms they would be having number crunching during the case-based interview. It would be so someone would be judged both on qualitative as well as quantitative aspects. And this thing, there are some of the famous case booklets, consulting case booklets of like of Darden or maybe Ahmedabad consulting case booklet is very famous. IIT Bombay case booklet is famous. So accordingly, like it runs for around 25 minutes or so, and it depends. They don't give all the data or exhibits which we name them directly to the candidate, potential candidate. They just try to give a problem statement that okay, that this issue is there, and they try to gauge whether candidate is able to think about or thought about that. If the candidate goes in that line, then they spill off the data to him or her, and that's how it happens. So yeah, it could be judged both on quantitative and qualitative. And quantitative, it won't be very number heavy and this thing that okay we may use to. It's more of a guesstimate thing. That let's say they want to have a like maybe good benches for the classrooms for the like UHG schools, like at rural areas schools across India. So we're just trying to see that okay, like our person is able to do crunching that okay, we have these many states and we have these many villages in which for upper primary education we have these number of schools in which boys and girls are this much, and these are the schools in which facilities may not be there. So accordingly, we will be needing these many resources, considering approximately around 1,500 rupees per bench cost. So this will be the total cost. And accordingly, we can gauge from these many vendors or sources. So thus, I'm just giving very vague answer as of now, but they used to see this kind of line of thinking when they judge anyone while interviewing.
Good. Thanks so much, Yash. Thanks so much for the answer.
Yash, okay, Gitanjali, you have a question, I believe.
So I got the answer, sir. It was answered during the
Okay,
conversation.
okay. Yash, somebody has asked a question to you. What tools are utilized by consulting companies for decision analysis? Is it Excel or something industry specific? Can you give examples? This is a question asked by Gagan.
Yes, sir. So yeah, there are some of the tools which are very commonly used in consulting industry. It could be industry agnostic. So some tools related to data visualization or maybe data analysis. These may be generally used. So in data visualization, the most common used tool is Tableau and Power BI. Power BI is of Microsoft. Tableau is a different software company altogether. There are some other tools also, maybe ClickSense and this thing. And this will vary from company to company. But Power BI and Tableau are most commonly used tools, and it could be we do have another knowledge. For data analysis and this thing, it could vary. I would say if we have a good knowledge about advanced Excel, like not only related to pivot table and all, maybe more about related to macros and different functioning, or maybe VBA, Visual Basic Analysis and Excel, that would work or help us, because other tools are there which are of data analysis. They are built on that concept only. So there is a tool by name Alteryx, which is very niche tool. Not many firms use. So I've been working on that as well. It's more related to Excel only. They just try to see that we know the logic that okay, this kind of formula we need to use, maybe multiple if, or maybe using some if or something like that. So it built on that fundamentals only. We don't need to have a separate skill set. If we have a good knowledge over Excel and this thing, I think it could help. While I don't think like is there any majorly common tool for the data analysis, because it varies from firm to firm accordingly.
And yes, adding to this is that how much is the use of, when we say statistical tools like regression analysis and correlation, okay, if we do survey the binomial Poisson that we use in statistics, how much are you guys using all these tools? I mean, it's not tools, but it is part of statistics. So basically, if you want to do a sampling and all, what kind of a sampling you do? Is it like random sampling or some other sampling methods that you use? So are you guys using all these methods and models?
That's good question, sir. So definitely that's we learned all these things from our in our theoretical aspect, and I would frankly say it is not used oftenly. Maybe in certain areas in niche expertise which we want to provide, we will be working on that. So I know like my team worked on the regression analysis in this thing when let's say there was certain user survey happened for some of the key attributes which we need to find out answer for, and the answer for that was uh, binary. It could be yes or no kind of thing. And accordingly, they have a huge data set from huge number of like users which been interviewed according to the sample. And thus how they did the regression on that okay, maybe for this product choice, this is the inclination of the majority of the audiences in this thing. So yeah, it will be used, but they like, I think one should not be having apprehension before that because during the project, these all skill set could be learned accordingly. Like even for let's say for something related to Excel also, I know many of people who are like engagement manager also. They just try to refer Google or YouTube. So so these are the skill set which could be which are not very hardcore tools and this thing. It could be learned during the project as and when required.
Okay. You any other questions? No questions.
All right, so I will just cover I think just two topics left. Although I think we are running data time, but this is I will just cover maybe in few minutes. Yeah, someone speaking.
Yeah. Hi, Yash, can you hear me?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
I have questions. I mean, very
Yes, sir.
quickly. Can you take them or you're running out of time?
No, sir, please feel free.
Sir, you can if you can be a bit louder and he can take questions, sir.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yes,
Yes,
you're
sir.
audible.
Okay. About the interview, usually how many rounds is it? That is one. And if any, in the end, if you can give some preparation tips, although we'll be pitching at different levels. So our age group is from 35 to mid 30s to mid 50s. So the positions that we'll be looking at also will differ. But however, based on your experience and hearsay or what you see around. So the question is number of rounds of interviews and preparation tips. That is one. Next question is, you explained this hierarchy in the organization. While the nomenclature might differ, but fundamentally it will be 8 to 10 levels of pay. Could you please simplify? I mean, people use different jargon, different language. Government sector uses different, private amongst private also. Let's say Amazon, L5, L6, L7. So if you could just give us an idea of the pay structure and hierarchy, both related. And lastly, what is the work-life balance? I mean, is it just the pay and perks? And what is the work-life balance in general? Yeah, thanks.
Thank you, sir.
You could
These
take it
are
in the end. I mean, not necessarily now, but I flagged it.
all right, sir. All right. I can take it as of now, Rohan, sir, or you want to take it in?
It's your wish, completely your call.
I think these are fruitful discussion as compared to the generic discussion which is happening over PPT. I can take it now, no worries. So yeah, like coming to the first question regarding the number of interviews which happen. So generally firms which are like maybe McKinsey, BCG, and Bain, which are very sought after, they may be having very grueling process. They may be having interviews from 5 to 7 in general. I know BCG takes 7 rounds of interviews outside the campus. If they hire Then after name for one position. McKinsey named them as a senior consultant, BCG named them as a senior consultant. But these other firms are their big four, and this thing they name them as associate or senior associate. Then BCG, I know after senior associate, they have a position, let's say related to, I could say maybe manager. They have different names. BCG has name by name project leader. McKinsey maybe having maybe related to engagement manager, and maybe big four maybe having just manager and this thing. Then they, after manager, there would be a role related to senior managers, which is mostly same across all consulting firms, senior manager and so on. And then after senior manager, it could be related to director positions at firms, maybe at Big Four or maybe at MBB. And director position is kind of a one level position below to a partner. So partner is the person who is who is generally at the apex of a vertical for which in the consulting, and partner could be like having a specialization in the given stream. There could be one partner who just leading the vertical related to TMT, technology, media, and telecommunication. There could be a partner who is leading vertical related to IPS, industrial product and solutions, or maybe retail consumer product or something like that. So partner would be leading that vertical and so on. Before director in partner, there is one more position at some firms by name managing director. So managing director is kind of a confusing position, I would say, because BCG and McKinsey name managing director for the person who is above a partner, and managing director will be something who is country leaders and maybe leading some of the regions, maybe APEC or like Europe region and so on. So that's how this is there. So I will just summarize. It is first analyst, then associate, then senior associate or senior consultant, then manager or project leader or engagement manager, then senior manager, then director, then partner, and then managing director. So this is the flow chart. For the hierarchy, I would say it's around 8-9 levels. And I know like in compared to a technical like any core company, there would be like 10 to 12 levels of hierarchy. It's just 8 levels of hierarchy. So how it happened? But people are there who are there like say for 20-25 years. So person who becomes a partner, he or she will be a partner maybe for next 5 or 6 years. Till that time, he or she becomes managing director. Because once it's kind of a pyramid here, and once you reach up to the director or partner level, so very rarely like because what's the next position in this thing? All right, so I think I explained this. So I am coming to the third question, which you told about the this thing that what is our work-life balance?
Work-life balance.
Yes, apart from pay and this thing. So consulting companies, as been said, that they are being paid masters, like good consulting firms, they are being they pay very well. And so consulting domain and domain related to PM, product management, this is the most talked about a buzzword as of now. PM related to farm companies, maybe Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, or maybe consulting firms in these domains, or maybe private equity and this thing. So in consulting firms, like one person maybe like above senior manager or so positions, so there would be huge responsibility and so on. And if it is a client facing role generally, which is so it could be huge traveling also, maybe accordingly like every week traveling would be there, like 4 or 5 days you are being posted in at the client this thing. So partner and everything who will be there, they would be meeting mostly with the leadership teams and accordingly. So it could be challenging because in these firms, if we are working in consulting domain, so we will be working with clients and our internal team, which is across geography. So we would be having calls at odd times also, maybe at morning 5:30, 6 a.m. at maybe at late night calls also, because this is the nature of business, due to the clients with which we are working with, and due to our internal team also, which has been onboarded, or who will be working on the project. I think any question left to answer? I'm not sure.
I'm sure you have a question.
Yeah. So just one follow-up. So which level of hierarchy do you become client-facing in consulting? Generally, when does that happen?
All right. So in consulting, mostly like it happens from like at very start, very initially stage of the career, and it depends on which kind of consulting you are there. So if it is a strategy consulting or management consulting, and if you are working in India and Indian clients are there, so uh, maybe from senior associate level only, you'll be working with clients, and accordingly, if any firms are there related to M&A or maybe certain other firms, so in that it might not be it would be client facing in this thing, but it may not be having much traveling in this thing. So let's say for me, it is in M&A consulting, it is in B strategy, but due to two reasons. Firstly, all clients are based in US, and secondly, because of geography difference. So I may not have much traveling, maybe for next 2 years and this thing. If they be posted me, which happens, many of my seniors gone, maybe after 2 or 3 years, we are posted in that location. That's what happens. But as of now, also, I am working in chemicals pod in M&A domain. So they are all US folks also, which are of PwC part. They are also in different domains. Some will be in West Coast, East Coast, and this thing. Some will be in New York or Houston or Atlanta. So they are also all remotely connected. But yeah, if some client is there which is there in Europe or this thing, then maybe manager in this thing, senior manager in this thing, they will be going then. So this is a different case or structure because our client is international clients. But some folks are there, some of my friends are there which are working with Indian clients. So for them, they go to the client location, their industry or manufacturing plant, or help them since the senior associate level only, just after MBA. So yeah, it depends.
Thanks. Thanks, Yash.
Any other question?
Yash, interview tips in the end,
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
cracking the interview.
Yeah,
Thanks.
definitely, sir. So yeah, for interview
I
on this
have a
thing,
question. Hi,
sure,
Yash.
ma'am. Sure, yes, ma'am.
Hi. This is Major Purvi. Yash, I just wanted to ask that in case study number 2, as you said, we were discussing about the brand management as well for the company.
Yes, ma'am.
Does consulting also means doing some PR for the company? Is it?
So yeah, consulting as such won't be doing PR, but they would be helping the client in the PR activities. So let's say if any firm is there which is in oil and gas, or which is energy industry, so we'll be helping them in onboarding a branding agency or advertising agency, which could help them in transforming their image, and they could be scrutinizing the firm on basis of different factors, maybe because of geography, maybe because of their alignment with the core vision or goals of the firm, maybe amount of reach that firm already have. So consulting firm won't be doing the PR activities, but they will be helping in PR related activities by onboarding a different uh, third party altogether.
Understood. Outsourcing, you mean?
Outsourcing. So they do outsourcing for everything, I would say. Like I know it sounds very irony that we are hiring consultants for some of the challenges in this thing, but they are not doing anything. But they are kind of a mediator, which help them in solving tackling their issues and this thing. So they could be issues related to their IT processes. So consulting firm would be having a collaboration with the major IT firms for some of their software solutions to onboard client and streamline the process.
Understood. Thank you.
Anyone else? Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question for you, Yash.
Yes, ma'am.
So, yes, when I see your case study one, I can see in the what to do list, you have certain things mentioned, which is basically done by the team for the clients. I want to know, are when you are when you are saying that these things are done by the clients, done for the clients, is it that you have an internal team which is managed by some senior manager under whom the team works with the clients, or do you outsource such kind of jobs?
All right. So if I understood that our question is that we are outsourcing for our internal jobs, we are outsourcing some other party to help the client, or how it happens, like who leads the project and how
Yeah, yeah.
engagement happens.
Yes.
All right. So partner would be the one who will be the leading the project and this thing. So partner won't be a POC with that client. They would be an engagement manager, which is engagement manager. It's a position name also, but it's kind of a it's role name also, but it's kind of a position name also, that what role you are handling that. So a director could be known as an engagement manager during that time, because he or she will be the one who will be leading the engagement with the client, or with their leadership team and this thing. So engagement manager would be POC for like different verticals or different streams for the client and this thing. And when actual conversation happen, when the client or board meeting will be there, then partner will also be there to accompany. So partner would be the one who will be leading the project accordingly, but engagement manager will be the one who will be the POC from the consulting firm to the client. And like if we are solving on some of the problem, there would be like around 8 to 10 people in the consulting firm who will be who will be working on that project. And typically like if it is in diligence phase or maybe due diligence phase initially, in which we are not implementing anything, we are just providing a solution to this thing, it would be typically last from 6 weeks to 8 weeks. And around 8 to 10 people will be there who will be working on the project: partner, engagement manager, director, senior manager, associate, and so on.
So, like you're talking about the director. So, director must be having some engagement managers in his down the vertical chain. Is it that how it works in consulting firms?
Yes. So yeah, it's kind of a confusing, I would say, because engagement manager is a position name also in
Okay.
McKinsey, BCG, and name. But
Hmm.
here, director is working as a role of an engagement manager because he will be engaging with that. So obviously, he would be having engagement manager or manager, which is more in different firms, below him, who will be working in this. And they collectively work on a like Excel and PPT is the thing which like most of them work in this thing. So they collectively be working on a deck and having multiple drafts and refining it and using SMEs also, subject matter expertise. If we are working on some niche project, and although we are in that business, let's say a partner is in chemical industry, leading chemical industry project for the last 20 years, but there is some niche technology related to shale gas technology, something like that, alternate energy. So they'll be bringing SMEs, subject matter expertise from outside. It could be industry veterans, or it could be academicians also. And it would be on contractual basis, and PwC or any firm would be paying them for the services for which they will be providing insights.
So what I understand, Yash, is for an engagement manager, ideally he or she should have she should be working with a team or a set of partners, which can be anyone. Now, my question to you is very specific here. So for the engagement manager, does they operate with an internal team of say 6 to 8 people, or they have to operate with cross-functional teams for getting SMEs for different kind of projects? How does that work?
Yes, I mean, definitely. This it happens cross-functional most of the time. So let's say I am currently working in a team which is known as private equity value creation. So we will be working with private equities to help them uh, capitalize on deals. They will be working with teams related to technology and transformation teams also, and they will be working with team related to deals strategy also. They would be working with some other teams also on the nature of business or the project which we are working with. So obviously, work happened with different stakeholders. It could be cross-functional, and it could be like major chunk of business. Okay, this client is our energy industry client, so okay, it belongs to this vertical. This partner would be leaning with. But obviously, when actual thing it worked out during the project phase, so collaboration would happen across the teams.
Thank you. I think that was good. That gave me a very good clarity. Thank you.
Thank you.
Anyone else has got any question? We'll take a last question and then we'll have one photograph and then we'll leave Yash, as I think he will be attending to his work also.
I think I can cover that question, which I think Praveen sir has asked. Which was,
Please go
which
ahead.
was there, that how we can work on our interview and skill sets
interview,
and
tracking
this thing.
interviews.
Yeah, tracking interviews. Yeah. Definitely. There are some good sources which can help us very well. So different consulting firms have one test also, which is an online test. And so there is care, which is a gamified version of test, I would say. So BCG has a test by name CACY, CACY, and McKinsey has a test by name IIM'B. It won't happen for us, but I'm just saying that these tests are there for the people who are in campus recruitment. So I just gave CACY example because there's a firm by name CACY Coach or something like that, and this is the I'll just confirm the name. I'm not sure. But when my BCG shortlisted for the BCG, the BCG people have provided me that link only, that we are providing you access for this KC coach. Go through it, and it will have terms and resources. So these all good firms help you throughout the process, and it has a pre-recorded videos and everything for our case interviews, for our interviews also, actual interview, like how actual interview happened for 50 minutes for the case interview, or maybe doing that. During that time, also, they have tons of resources which will help them, and there are good other resources also, which are available, like online resources which can help them during that time. And they have pre-recorded sessions, pre-recorded videos for the case interviews, because all interviews will be mostly case-based interviews. It would not be based on the HR behavioral practices. And these are good resources. I'll share maybe 2-3 names. I'm not sure, like KC Coach is the name or not, but I will share you on WhatsApp, sir. Maybe you can separate in the group, because that these was shared by the firm itself, and I was also very surprised that okay, these firms are taking so much time in just even before has onboarded in the firm for their recruitment processes.
Yes, please share it with me so that I can share with everybody. List of sources from where we can go through these sources and practice for our interview. I hope that's the end of question. Anybody have any question? Last question.
Just one question.
Yes, please go ahead, sir.
Yes, thanks for this lovely insight that you've given.
Thank you, sir.
Or consultancy, especially in some domain specific areas. So how would we be able to really access some sort of this information if if it is existing there?
All right. I think we have lost you in between, sir, but I understood the question. I guess that like how we can access these kind of information related to consulting and this thing to have holistic knowledge. So that's the question, right?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir, you're audible, sir.
Yeah, thanks. So you mentioned something about contractual basis for hiring for consultants, right?
Yes.
So
Sir.
if you have certain domain knowledge, or you have certain area. So is this something that is pretty often advertised or something like that?
All right, sir. So it won't happen as such. Like there won't be any listing on any career page of any consulting and this thing. So if any consulting firm is onboarding any any industry experts or SMEs for some of the projects in this thing. So it happens more on the basis of connect and networking and this thing. So imagine, like, let's say if any tendering project is there, in it, any capex contractor is there which has worked on something. So she has built a recognition that okay, he or she has expertise in that. In the same way, in consulting, it happens. If any niche firm is there, or if any veteran is there who he or she has already helped in some of the projects in some of the firm, maybe in the same firm, so he or she will be onboarded again, and it happens more on the basis of connect and network, and the more visibility we have. So let's say if any academician is there, he or she is being like recognized on the basis of number of journals they have written, and they have a very good name in the market. Let's say they have expertise related to nanotech or something like that. So consulting firms or these things, they would love to bring him for some of the expertise or insights accordingly. So it won't happen as such that it won't be an advertisement, but it's more about like on the personal rapport and network and connects, it happens.
Yeah, thanks so much.
Welcome, sir.
Okay, guys, Yash, we'll have one photograph.
Sure.
Guys, I'll request everyone to switch on their cameras. We'll have actually two because there are so many people that few of you have not switched on your cameras. Please switch on your camera so that we can have photograph.
All right, I think this discussion may be much fruitful as compared to covering the PPT, because just 3-4 slides left, and I think that was not much useful what we have here discussion, I guess.
Okay. Smile, please. Okay, I'll have one more because somebody switched on camera right now. Smile. And one more. Okay. So thank you very much, Yash, for your time and such insight on consulting. We will keep bothering you. I'm sure there are going to be many questions, and I will in between ask you all those questions. And if any one of us, gets into interview with the consulting firm, of course, I hope you will help that person out with the interview practice. And I'll also request you to share the list of those online tools and apps where we can practice for the interviews for these consulting firms, and otherwise also whatever is useful, you think is useful for us.
Definitely, sir, definitely.
That's all from it. It was a great session, and it was very, not educative for us, because most of us were not very clear about consulting, and I hope that some of the basic doubts about consulting is clear now. Anything from your side, Yash? Please go ahead.
And thank you so much, first of all. Like, I know I'm pretty new in terms of experience and age also, but it was an honor for me to just share a few insights in this thing. And although I may not be having expertise in that, but I would definitely, if anyone is having any doubt, I would definitely try my best capacity to connect with the right people, or maybe with the right resources, which can help us accordingly. Like, I can understand it. For me also, it was a new change. I worked like in totally non-different field, which was in public sector, and it's an industrial or functional change, but also a cultural change for me. So I can definitely understand. And so yeah.
Okay. So Amshu, can we end the session now?
And I will share my number, no worries. I think someone texted here. So
yeah. I will, I will. You can write down your number if somebody wants to note it down. Yeah,
and
that's his number.
And people can connect me on LinkedIn also if required. So no worries.
So we are through, sir. In case we are done, we can end the session.